the orange line goes up and the elementary school line goes down. That transition point is they move the fifth graders from the elementary school up to the junior high. But, you know, over the past decade, they've dropped by over 175 students there. And most of that drop is from those two schools. And with the birth rates and everything else, you know, my take on the numbers is like, see that continuing to decline. And then the last slide is, you know, if the school population, those are the numbers, you know, let's say it stayed relatively flat the last couple of years. It's about the same in 21, 22. The budget's gone up by over $1 million in 5 years, and we've got 40 less students. You know, the question everyone's going to ask is, you know, are we getting better and better value out of what we're paying for the education, you know, compared to maybe what other communities are doing for the value? And that's the discussion. But it was hard to have that discussion at the school deliberative meeting because there was just two of us. All right, I am done, and the whole thing took less than an hour. I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I will take questions, and you guys can unmute and try to see if you could stump the moderator. We had something in chat. I wonder what that was. Oh, I'm on the clunker tonight, view only. Thanks, RCL. All right, so Philip's not going to ask any questions. Anybody else from our guest panel audience?
So I have a question. The holding of the tax rate last year, right? So drawing down on capital, kind of leading to a bigger increase this year. Was that COVID influenced, right? Was there a decision to keep the impact to the taxpayers kind of steady while the uncertainty of the economy is going on? Do you have any insight on that? I mean, that's really analysis, and that's not necessarily what we're here for, but I was just curious if you had any.
No, the meeting of the minutes you read on the interview, they said, you know, the question is, you know, it's been a tough year for a lot of people. What can we do to hold the tax rate the same? And that was the number. So it was driven with the intent of trying to not increase people's taxes.
I have a follow-up, moderator.
The tax rate stayed the same, but they'll still pay more because the budgets went up.
Okay, I have another question. Because we talked about.
Anyone else? Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, yeah, okay.
This will just be my only follow-up. Well, maybe. The revaluation, which our houses are all have increased in value due to COVID. When that happens, right, so say the budget is 31 million, and now houses have, you know, I see houses selling for 25% more than they were on the market for 6 months ago. Our tax rate could potentially go down, even though the value of our houses go up. So our mill rate could go down because they'll try to hit the budget, not just, okay.
Right, so when that number, the assessed value goes up, the tax rate goes down. And that's actually what happened a number of years ago. The assessor that they fired found like 80 million worth of property he thought that was underassessed. You know, like there was on South Road that was owned by one of the former selectmen that, you know, was coded unbuildable, but then, you know, actually it became part of that South Road development. So for years they paid unbuildable lower tax rates. And that assessor went through and said, you know, these things are coded wrong. They should be coded this. And it added $80 million worth of assessed value to rise assessment and lowered everyone's tax rate. So,
okay, got it.
All right. Any other questions? Either that, I'll have to eat dinner and dishes. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for making the time to come here tonight. This will be on recording. Please tell your friends and neighbors and anyone else how wonderful this was. And the recording